Take me out to see that game with all the balls, or to the wrestling ring best out of three falls. Donny and Randy talking wrestling and sports. We're talking the ball pit. It's the best, of course, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. There's no better podcast. They're all shit. Rob watches the Lions every Sunday night. Who even know which team Paul supposedly likes? Tex likes the Cowboys, it's his only shortfall. Jason McLean, just a fan of sports ball. 'Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it. 'Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. There's no better podcast. They're all shit. With Randy Gilbert as our YouTube sports guy. Donny Cho knows shit about sports, but he'll try. Donny only knows wrestling and MMA. Together these two for the US of A.
Hey, what up?
Hey, what's going on?
Looks like we got 3 people watching. 3.
Three.
We're in the big times, baby.
3.
We're in
Who's
the,
the
we're
third
in the
one?
motherfucking big leagues.
Me and you and who?
Yeah, me, you, and someone else.
Somebody just driving by.
Yeah.
Oh,
there
we got
it is.
Bigfoot Fadez.
Yeah. Bigfoot Fadez.
She's the third one lurking out there. So I didn't use your one tonight, Bigfoot Fadez, because it's like one of that one's more geared toward the Friday night show, unfortunately. And I gotta get Rob in on it and do the picks. Oh my God, the picks are going crazy today. So things happening all over the place.
Yeah, Rob seemed pretty depressed about the football.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. It's not a fun thing.
The Lions have been getting their asses whooped.
No, they should have won. They had a weird play on the last play of the game. Throws it, and the ball comes out and goes straight to the quarterback who's following the play, and he runs it in for a touchdown. Then they come back and say, "Oh no, there was a pass interference on." I think it was one of the Lions receivers is what it said. There's a pass interference, but it's non-reviewable, no replay. By rule, the game's over, done. It's done. I'm just like, wait a second, hold the damn phone. That don't make no damn sense at all. But they called it on the field. Originally called it as a touchdown. I was like, oh my God, they beat them, because on our picks though, I picked the Steelers. Everybody else picked the Lions. So I'm like, sorry, Rob, I got to pick the Steelers. For some reason, I know better than picking against freaking Aaron Rodgers, as much as I hate that guy. What's going on, Nemo? There's Nemos out there now, too.
There's Nemo over here. Oh, we've got more than 3 people today. Nice.
Well, we got 3. How's that? We got 3. I'm one of them. Oh, you're not even in the chat then, it doesn't look like.
No, I'm not in the chat.
So, yeah, it's just me and them. That's it.
Well, yeah, we got we got number 4. We're in the big leagues now, baby.
Uh-oh. Who's number 4? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Are they going to actually talk? Better than ESPN. I don't know about that sometimes, but yeah, I'll go with that. I will go with better than ESPN, because we kind of tell it a little bit differently than they do. So, And of
All
course
right,
we do.
so shall we get into the topic today, Randy?
Yeah, let's do the topic
Okay,
because there ain't nothing
I'll
really to
intro it.
announce as far as
Yeah,
actual sports goes. So
because this was kind of my idea, but so I've been thinking a lot about WWE. I actually this past Monday I watched Raw for the first
you
time
watch
in
Raw?
months.
I've
Yeah,
gotten to the point I haven't watched any of them. I watched the replays, or not the replays, but the highlight shows or the highlight things on YouTube,
yeah.
and that gives me the synopsis I want because I don't want to sit there and watch half of the damn
You know what I
wrestling.
do? Because I have the Netflix app on my phone. I put it up. I plug in my phone and I put it on my phone, and I just have it running in the background while I'm doing other shit.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
every now and then something, will catch my. I think that's typically how people would. That's how to watch Raw, really.
yeah, because it's so boring at spots, and now they're talking about going back to 3 hours. Same thing
No,
with
they're talking about
SmackDown.
SmackDown going back to 3 hours.
There's not enough content there for 3 hours unless you're going to bring NXT in a lot.
So I started thinking about how ways they can make it better and ways that it was interesting back when I was watching wrestling as a kid.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, this is going into our discussion called old school wrestling versus modern wrestling. I don't want to call it new school wrestling. I want to call it
Yeah,
modern wrestling.
yeah.
And what are the advantages and disadvantages of both? Okay.
Oh,
Because I started thinking about it, right? This past
yeah,
Monday, I watched the Usos go up against the New Day,
yeah,
but the New Day, they were heels this time.
yeah.
But I'm like, how many fucking times do we have to sit there and watch the Usos versus the New Day on a random television? And then comes the pay-per-view like a SummerSlam or whatever the fuck.
Hmm.
Oh wow, can you believe it? It's gonna be the Usos versus the New Day.
Yeah.
Like we see that every fucking week,
Yeah, because
week
they
in and week
elevate
out.
nobody. They elevate nobody,
It's
especially
the
in the
same
tag team rank.
teams. It's not even musical chairs because if it was
No.
like Usos going up against a possibility of 3 or 4 different teams, but there was at one point where when they were feuding, like when they feud with like someone like the New Day,
Mhm.
their tag team divisions only got so many teams. And
Yeah.
it's just the same goddamn match every single fucking week.
Well,
And
yeah. Same one every
we
time.
didn't do this when I was a kid during the age of WWF superstars. I started
No.
thinking really deeply about it, and I realized there was one big difference with old school wrestling, with the
Uh-huh.
wrestling that we have now.
Yeah.
I started thinking really hard about this, and back then they had squash matches.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had jobber
100%.
matches.
Yeah.
That's something that you don't see in WWE anymore. Now,
No.
for the people who are
Don't have them
watching
anywhere
who may not
anymore.
be, yeah, for the people who are watching right now who may not be familiar with the old school concept of the jobber match, Randy, why don't you give a basic lesson to the non-familiar wrestling fans?
Okay. That's pretty simple, honestly. And
Mhm,
I'm just going to take off the wall out of the blue, pick one out of the air. King Kong Bundy. Okay.
mhm.
King Kong Bundy was the king of championship. The Saturday during the day, the superstars, wrestling superstars. Because they throw him out for matches for those tapings and stuff. They throw him out for matches like crazy against whatever jobber, and the jobbers are usually the local talent, like the guys that we wrestle the indies there, and this is during WWE time. This isn't the old school, but they would throw the
They
jobber
don't have
out
any
there.
special gimmicks. It's usually just like their
Yeah,
first and last name.
hell, Mick
Like,
Foley was a jobber there at one point.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was a jobber and actually got out and did a job tag team against the British Bulldogs. He said he was in hog heaven until he realized that freaking Dynamite Kid was kicking the shit out of him. And he didn't like it. So he's like, he idolized the Dynamite Kid, but Dynamite Kid wasn't having that crap. They beat the ever loving crap out of him. What's going on, Roger? So
So
either
basically,
way,
yeah.
so you put that kind of guy out there. When it's the good guys, you had somebody like Steve Lombardi slash the Brooklyn Brawler slash whatever
Mhm.
gimmick he was doing at the
You
time.
had a designated jobber.
Exactly.
Brooklyn
Barry
Brawler
Hart,
was a designated
freaking,
jobber. Yeah.
Barry O. They were the guys that went out and they made that guy look good. Okay.
Mhm.
SD Jones. He was the guy the same way for the heels. He made the heels look good because Hesty Jones was not no little guy. You know what I mean? He was a big dude, and he was the one that famously lost to Bundy at the first WrestleMania in 5, 10 seconds, whatever it was. One avalanche, boom, 5 count done. Because Bundy made sure everybody the refs always counted 5 count. He wanted a 5 count. He didn't want a 3 count. He wanted a 5 count at that time. So, but yeah, that's what they had. They had those guys that, quite frankly, if you were a good jobber, a real good jobber, they kept you around like a Steve Lombardi or Barry Horowitz. They kept them around because they were good at making their opponents look good and still getting a little offense and piss the crowd off enough or make the crowd get a little hope just enough to make that heel or face even more over than what they were.
Yeah. So the idea is that back in the 80s, right? And this was commonplace. This wasn't just WWF. I'm
No,
pretty sure
no.
they did this in like NWA.
NWA was the same way. Same way the old WCW Saturday night stuff or whatever, worldwide wrestling, whatever they wanted to call it at the time.
So the concept was that you had your big name guys or your like mid card, right? You had like, for example, let's say WWF was doing a rivalry between someone like Million Dollar Man and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
You don't actually see them fighting on TV every week.
No.
They'll do promos, right? They'll do promos.
Yep.
They'll do like clips of like previous matches or when maybe Million Dollar Man did something really dastardly to Hacksaw Jim Duggan, like a clip.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But then in the matches, in the show itself, for if they're going to appear, they're going to beat up a local jobber.
Yeah.
Beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to make him look really tough.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's supposed to build towards that. Right. And then finally, once you get to the pay-per-view or Saturday night's main events back then, you get the payoff. Right?
Yeah.
You're building up to that. Modern WWE doesn't do that anymore.
No.
Modern WWE, like in Raw and SmackDown, no matter how big of a name you are or who's got what program or rivalry going on, they're going to fight each other on TV.
Yeah.
They're not
whether
going
it be a match or a brawl, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Or maybe there's going to be a promo, but then there's going to be a run-in.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. There are no squash matches.
WWE did away with the jobber matches, and I feel like in a lot of ways that really hurt the product.
Yeah.
Because now it's much harder to build up your mid-card talent because you got to march them out there against another mid-carder. Yep. Either someone's going to lose, which means someone's going to look worse.
Yeah.
It's going to kill their momentum. Another person's going to be elevated, right?
Yep.
So there's that. Or you're going to do like a fuck finish where it's like a count out or a DQ.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, look at the last month, 2 months or whatever. They've done their very best, quite frankly, to bury LA Knight. Honestly.
Yeah.
They really have. Because LA Knight has got a crowd presence now. He's got a pop every time he comes out. He's got the catchphrase. He's got the look. He's older because he's in his 40s. That's one thing against him. But this dude has been saddled with so many shitty damn gimmicks by the WWE in his time there. Go back and look at the Max Dupree thing from the male model thing that he was doing. Their manager. That was before LA Knight, but that's Eli Drake. Eli Drake was a TNA world champion at one time. Okay.
Well,
going
back
to
like the 80s and 90s, like there were wrestlers who were saddled with shitty gimmicks, like the Red Rooster, right? But even someone like the Red Rooster, you would watch him on like Saturdays on WWF Superstars, and what is he doing? He's beating the piss out of a fucking jobber. So he still looks strong. So when you see him out there, you still see him as like a name, even though his gimmick sucked, right? I don't know, Randy. What do you think? Do you think WWE needs to bring back the jobber match? Do they need to go back to that format?
Well, you got to think about it though. This is before the Monday Night Wars. This was before cable, not necessarily cable TV, but worldwide TV and one big show a week type thing. This was where they were just putting content out on different channels throughout, WSM out of Chicago, I guess it was, and then TBS out of the South with WCW. But what was the Superstation? Not the one out of Chicago originally. I think it was one WSM. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but either way, that's where uh, Vince McMahon really got it going, trying to go national, and it was Superstars of Wrestling was coming on that station, and it was cable provided to every home that cable went to, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he had to have content at that time to get the name out. Well, the names are all out and they're worldwide now, so there's no reason to have Sunday Night Heat. Remember the old days of Sunday Night Heat?
Yeah.
That was a lot of jobber matches on there at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no need for them now because of the how do I put it? The coverage that they've got now that they didn't have before. You know what I mean? Because house shows, the TV built to the house shows, which was the real moneymaker at that time, the house shows. And then you get to a pay-per-view. Once pay-per-view really got going, hey, that's the big payday now. And so the old days in the territories, it was whatever gym you were going for your territory, You're at whatever high school auditorium or armory, National Guard armory or whatever. But you usually had one big show even in the territories.
Have you ever attended a house show before?
Oh, many of them. Many of them. I was at Starrcade in '97 too. Or not '97.
Yeah,
Starrcade.
okay, so for people who don't know, house shows are basically the wrestling events, except they're not televised. And the reason they're only for the live gate, they're only for the live audience. And sometimes they're not. Well, a lot of times they are in continuity, but sometimes they're not.
Roger. WGN. That was the other one I was talking about. So.
But the thing about house shows is because they know it's not televised. A lot of times the wrestlers and the promoters, they'll do like experimental shit. You know what I mean? Like they'll try out different spots that they normally wouldn't want to take the gamble on live TV.
Yeah, and that's where they test out a lot of the matches too on those house show circuits.
Yeah. Or they'll test out certain gimmicks or certain spots.
Yeah.
In that way, like a lot of these wrestlers, they kind of grow in their gimmick and in their, abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to a lot of interviews where like wrestlers who came from that era that they miss it, right? They lament the fact that there aren't as many, like house shows aren't as big of a, like they still exist, but they're not as big of a part of the business plan.
It's not run 5 days a week like it used to.
That's where they hone their craft.
Yeah. They learn how to not hurt each other too, that way.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's another difference between old school and modern wrestling, right? Because old school had the televised, had the pay-per-views, but then they also had the house shows where people would hone their craft.
Yep. I went to when I was stationed out in El Paso in probably 2001 or 2, I guess it was. Might have been 2002. But they were doing the Road to WrestleMania, and it came through El Paso, and that was Eddie Guerrero was still alive. I mean, it was a big thing. Jericho was a good guy. I mean, I think Randy Orton was on. They had it. It was a stacked match.
House show
this was a house show. And of course, Eddie Guerrero was a bad guy at the time, but he's in his hometown of El Paso, so they made sure that he got the night pop. He came in and run in to help Chris Jericho, who was a good guy, who was getting beat up by, I think it was Kurt Angle. I'm pretty sure it was the guy he was going against, but Kurt Angle and another person were attacking.
The crowd cheered for him.
Yeah, and Eddie came in and protected them, or took them out. But that sent the crowd home happy after that. You know what I mean? Because that was
that's something they wouldn't do
hometown guy.
Because Eddie's supposed to be a bad guy, so it wouldn't make any continuity sense.
Yeah,
but because it's a house show, they could just do it.
Yeah, exactly, and it sent the crowd home happy because everybody loved Eddie Guerrero. Period.
Yeah,
they just did. Now, I will tell you, being there in El Paso and being in the Army at the time, they got to come through the airport, and we have courtesy patrol at the airport for new privates and stuff that were coming in and stuff like that to get them to the right location before they went to base AIT and stuff, because it was a training post as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you what, I met so many of them, and Kurt Angle's probably one of the nicest guys you will ever meet, by bar none. He will just sit there and BS with you you got to cut him off, I think, sometimes, because he just sit there and BS with you about everything. He doesn't care.
Angle's a national treasure.
Yeah, he is. He is a good guy. He really was. There's some you just don't want. You just know not to approach them. You know what I mean? Undertaker when he was in full blown day, don't approach. You know that kind of deal. But he took it seriously though. So
Hmm. Do you think do you think WWE could benefit if they kind of went back to that approach to the jobber match on TV, build up the feuds and have the payoffs on the pay-per-views, but don't have the two people feuding actually have matches with each other on weekly
yeah,
TV?
yeah, I think that'd do a lot better. And you if you did house shows like that too, you eliminate a lot of the botches that you're seeing on TV lately. You see a lot of botches. That poor old AJ Styles. I mean, I've seen that man do the phenomenal forearm 5,000 times if I've seen it done once. And Saturday night's main events, the one night he actually come completely off the ropes when he did it. He literally got up there and slipped completely off. Not just a little
He
bit fall
botched
down.
it bad.
I
Yeah, I
botched.
saw that.
He
He
almost went
botched it
down.
bad.
Yeah. So that kind of
That
sucked for
sucked.
him. I mean, but he's getting older, and quite frankly, the WWE's ring ropes are taller than most everybody else. So,
Hmm.
but anyway,
But he's done it a million times on those
yeah.
ropes, man.
And there's it's just that one night just happened to happen. And it sucks. That's why I don't like springboard stuff because that is so easy for people to botch, and people think they can do it until they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's done it a million times, but that one time, done. So
Now,
anyway,
people will often say like old school wrestling, they were better storytellers.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Do you think
100%.
that's the case?
I think you're going back to it a little bit, and you know why I think that way because of Gunther.
Hmm.
Gunther is straight out old school. I'm telling you, that dude, he puts on a match like I used to watch back in the 70s and 80s.
Hmm.
He really does. He uses psychology. He's constantly working the crowd, and I'm like, there hasn't been somebody work the crowd like him. I mean, not, as far as a heel since Ric Flair. Honestly, watch him work the crowd as he's in a match, and
Do you
watch the
think
way Ric
modern
Flair.
wrestlers attempt psychology though? Like if you
They
watch like some of
attempt,
these newer guys, they attempt it.
but they don't know. They're not good at it.
Hmm.
He's good at it. Another one was his choky boy though, Ludwig Kaiser. That dude could play a crowd. He had that natural charisma about him. Of course, he's at El Grande Americano right now, but uh, he has that swagger about him and he stays in character. He doesn't get broke real easy. You know what I mean? And it's cool to watch some of the old school ones come back. You know what I mean? The old school style, I should say. But I mean, the high flyers have their place too. The balls to the walls guys, you know, because
The acrobatic stuff.
yeah, and even the grounded ones, but like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Hmm.
There's a monster, the monster team that you know really you haven't seen since the natural disasters in early '90s. Honestly, if you think about
What would you say
it,
new
insults were
modern
better,
wrestling?
Nemo.
What would you say modern wrestling gets better than old school then?
Oh, the athleticism by a long shot.
They're
The
better athletes
athleticism.
for sure.
Yeah, and they've learned how to take the bumps and how not to hurt themselves. That's why when you see these guys going over the top ropes and doing springboard and stuff, when those guys aren't in position to catch them like they're supposed to be, I kind of get upset because I'm like, you're that guy's trusting you to catch him, you know, and not hurt himself. But hell, you got people now doing it like that. Javon Evans in NXT, when he goes flying over, he can just flip real quick and land on his feet. He's just that cat like. I'm like,
Right.
I've never seen somebody do like that kid does. Never. So insults insults were better according to Nemo. Yeah, I think they probably were. The insults back then because they had to talk. These guys now can't talk very well. They really can't.
Well, a lot of times there's something to be said about the scripted nature. So for people who don't know, like old school wrestling, like when
Hmm.
they get up on the in front of the mic and they cut their promos,
Yeah.
a lot of that is improv. A lot
Oh
of
yeah.
that is just them riffing. And you get some real gems out there because they're in character, they
Yep.
stick with the story, Yeah, granted, it's oftentimes a pretty simple and straightforward story, but
Hmm.
those guys when they when you see like someone like a Ric Flair screaming into the mic, you
Yeah.
know, who is a good promo guy that whose picture we have here?
Oh, Superstar Billy Graham. If you got that in there, if you see that one, go look at
Yeah, like a
Superstar Billy Graham.
superstar Billy Graham, right?
Yeah. My mom and
Like,
dad, we're down here in Texas, so we had the Von Erichs like crazy. But Superstar Billy Graham made runs around the territories as well.
mhm,
And my mom used to laugh hit her ass off because Superstar Billy Graham be sitting there talking to the mic, telling the guys in the ring, "Don't touch the face, Jack. Watch the face, Jack." He's giving all these people hell, and my mom's sitting there giggling, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" She said, "Look, he had to turn his face away from the camera because he cracked himself up.
mm,
That's how funny that guy was. He was that damn good on the mic, and it was just." It's a different animal versus everything's scripted for them now. Of course, in the WWE, they got the
yeah.
script before they go out.
So that's the difficult part because a lot of those guys on the mic they can't really shine because they have to follow what the script says.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a very different beast, like trying to cut a promo, but you're
yeah.
reading off the word, you're memorizing words that
I
someone else wrote.
And I think that's where AEW, as much as you hear me bitch about AEW, I think that's where they shine more because they let those guys kind of freelance it on the mic, as long as they don't get stupid. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because hell, I will sit there and listen to a Tony Storm interview all freaking day long. That girl is a gold mine on the mic.
Mm,
She's a gold mine in the post match or post event media scrums and stuff, the press
yeah.
conferences. She's freaking hilarious. She is absolutely hilarious, and it's so much fun to watch her. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion, and that's more of a work rate area down there than as AEW than
Mm,
it is a quote unquote show. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They're trying. I think they got something going on, but I just I don't know. The rehashing
I
of
feel like
the same people
AEW
anymore.
picks and chooses like
Hmm.
the old school and new school stuff.
Yeah,
Like they'll try to incorporate elements from old school wrestling, like those kinds of promos. Um, but then they'll mix it a lot with like very modern stuff, right? Like a spot fest.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh too much right there, but freaking Bigfoot Page just sent me a video. She made Jake Paul into a Street Fighter character.
I'm sure it's been done.
It's not this either way though. That one did a lot better than he did the other night. So I kept waiting for this too, honestly. And I know we talked about this before, and I asked you if you saw it or not. But that I've been waiting for this for a couple of years now because he always picks these over the hill guys or these younger or little guys that he outweighs
Or
and
like MMA
outreaches.
fighters who don't really have a boxing background.
Exactly. Well, he
Yeah.
got in there with a recent world heavyweight champion, and it showed. He was dwarfed by that guy, by Anthony
Well,
Joshua.
yeah, not only is he a better pedigree, but he was also a lot smaller than it, a lot bigger, at least than
Yeah,
Jake Paul.
and he beat him like a redheaded stepchild for all 6 rounds. I don't care what they say. I loved it. I'm sorry, I loved it. Okay, dude, go get some real training. Get your ass into the damn Golden Gloves or freaking amateurs and get hone your craft before you come up think
I
you're
don't
gonna
know. I felt like it
hang
was.
with the big dog.
I cannot quite wrap my brain around why he decided to take that fight. I mean, it should have been pretty obvious what the outcome would have been.
Oh yeah, and now he's sitting in a hospital waiting for his jaw to mend.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I digress because that was funny. I mean, it just almost
Okay.
trying to see a
So
Soro let her take his jaw off.
one of the things I feel like is the disadvantage of old school wrestling was the longevity of the wrestlers
Oh, by a long shot.
because
They
that lifestyle was not sustainable. A lot of them are gone now.
Yeah,
They've left us
yep,
because it was that lifestyle of
on the road
wrestling,
all the
going
time.
town to town on the road,
Yep,
boozing, partying,
drugs.
womanizing, drugs, pills. Go
Yep.
to the next town, keep doing it, and a lot of these guys died real early.
But they died of the stuff from outside the ring, whereas they didn't get injured near as much on the inside of the ring.
Yeah,
because they had that slow, methodical storytelling styles about them. Look at Harley Race. Harley Race could whip people's asses if he wanted to, not just a little bit. He could really hurt them, and but he got out there and he could put on a show with anybody that make money with him. He'd put on a show, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. There was a Phantom NWA title switch at one point. I'm trying to remember. What's his name? Dutch Mantel told the story on his show a while back, but there was a guy, and I want to say it wasn't Wildfire, Tommy Wildfire Rich. It was somebody else, but he Race got in there, and they did the house show thing or whatever with the top, the top baby face of the area, and Race put him over for the crowd because he knew the guy was having this kind of problem or that kind of problem. He let him take the title off of him that night and won it back the night after, even though the NWA didn't sanction it or anything like that. He did it to help that guy out, and I'm like, the dude's he was just he knew how to take care of others in the ring. You know what I mean? So I mean, but that was the difference between the old style and new style. I mean, or the old style. Shouldn't say school. The old school, old style versus new style. He could do 45-minute matches because they weren't running balls to the wall the entire match.
Yeah.
I mean, look
Yeah,
at
you're right. They weren't getting as many like joint injuries. And
you had a
like,
lot of rest holds. You had a lot of chin locks. You had a lot of headlocks.
so old school wrestling itself was safer because it was more psychology based, but then like all of these wrestlers were dropping like flies because they had like unsustainable lifestyles.
Yeah.
Whereas modern wrestlers, right, they're better athletes. They do crazier moves, but as a result, they also get more injuries.
Oh yeah. I mean, look how many in the last 30 years. I should say 30, 20 years. Let's just say 20 to 25 years. How many neck fusion surgeries have you heard of?
Yeah,
a lot, right?
A lot.
How many did you hear about before Stone Cold's?
Well, there were some, but not many. I mean, there
Not
were
that
still like
many, yeah.
dangerous moves and people getting hurt, especially once you incorporated like the Japanese style, or like when people
Yeah.
start going over to Japan and start doing
Yep.
crazy shit over there.
But they still didn't hurt people though like that. It's still they knew how to make it look real, and you're going to
Yeah.
catch a little bit of a bump. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like they were going to actually break you. You know what I mean? Unless you're Vader and get your eye knocked out its socket by a blind Stan Hansen, or
Right.
or you got Vader taking on Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, and ripping an ear off because of the ropes were too tight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I love Japanese wrestling though. I mean, honestly, that's some of the greatest pure wrestling that you'll ever see.
It
as far as
is.
professional
It's
wrestling.
I call it undiluted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Masahiro Chono, when he came over and started working with WCW, they watered him the hell down big time. Because I can tell you right now, Masa Chono would have absolutely destroyed everybody in WCW without thinking twice. I think Hulk Hogan was afraid of him, honestly.
Another advantage of modern wrestling is that, like,
Hey, Mickey.
old school wrestling was basically a good old boys club. I mean, face
Yeah.
it was.
It was.
Right?
It was.
There was racism, there was misogyny,
Big
and,
time.
I'm not one of those people that goes online claiming to be, like, this wokey snowflake motherfucker
No.
who's, like, with pink hair and shit.
Yeah.
But, it was a product of its time.
Yep.
A lot of, like, black
Location.
wrestlers talked about how they faced, like, outrageous forms of racism inside and outside the ring
Yeah.
by their
Yeah.
peers. Women were relegated to either like a sideshow or like a bikini contest or like a mud wrestling thing. They
Yep. They
weren't
were
taken
valet.
serious. Or valets.
Yep.
Exactly. Now you had some of these women here.
Oh yeah, you're gonna bring up the real ones, right?
Yeah, which pick
Well,
a
Mildred go Mildred Burke first because that's a whole case
They made a
study of
movie
her
about
own.
her. Yeah, but she was like an oddity, right? Because they didn't even have a women's league.
No, she
So
did
they
it.
would have like these wrestling events, but then they would
Mhm.
put like one women's wrestling match. And this is back to when people did not understand women could wrestle too.
Yeah,
So it was just like it was almost like a freak show, really.
yeah, and that's what it was. But she learned how to make it into something that could make money, and she
And they
laid
made
that.
a movie about her. She's the
Yeah,
one that made the movie
Queen of
about
the
her.
Ring, Queen of the
Yeah.
Ring, and I still haven't had a chance to see it. It was supposed to go on streaming. It never went on streaming. You have to rent it to stream it,
Oh, you're
rent it
still
or
waiting?
buy it. Yeah, it's never
Like
gone on an
Glow,
actual streaming app.
you
I
know,
love
Mickey G
Glow.
says she should like Glow.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to watch Glow in the 80s. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, fucking love the Netflix series.
Oh yeah, it was great. And then the,
But
the
except for the
documentary
fact that it got
about Glow
canceled
was
after
good too.
season 3, and then it didn't get a proper send off. But
Yeah, yeah, and it was well, they kind of run their course. They were going their own way. They're kind of away from the way Glow was done in the first place. But
yeah,
if you watch the documentary on Glow, that was amazing too
I
because
watched that too. I actually watched the documentary because of the show. I
yeah,
got so into
I
the
did
show,
too.
I wanted more. Yeah,
And I remember going in there and seeing Mount Fiji. She was
yeah.
laid up and stuff, but they got her to the reunion. And God bless freaking what the hell, Ivory, uh, Tina Carrera, I think Tina. Well, she was Tina Ferrari in Glow, and then
Oh
she
yeah,
became
only one of the girls from Glow actually made it into the WWE.
yeah, and that was Ivory. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I cannot remember her name to save me, but yeah, she actually gave back to Glow and help with that documentary a lot. The way I
mhm,
understood it, she made
mhm.
sure they had the place where they could all come together and seeing Matilda the Hun and freaking Mount Fiji together. I was like, man, these girls used to go the hell at it, and they were big girls at that time. I mean, big
Yeah,
girls to see, and they would just tear it down. I mean, I it was great TV. I know they were exploited. I know they were, but when you're a 16-year-old kid in 1986 or 85, watching, you're like, holy shit, where did
yeah.
where did Tina Ferrari come from? Wait a second.
Well, it wasn't a spoof. It was just a
No,
women's wrestling
I
show,
think
and I
they did
watched
it.
it every weekend. I
Yeah, I
remember
did
it used
too.
to come on like right around the same time as WWF Superstars, like because it was all syndicated. Um, and now, so that's the problem with old school wrestling. Yes, there was women's wrestling, but they were either like a freak show or relegated to, just like a beauty contest or
Yeah,
valets. They weren't taken seriously. They
yep.
weren't considered as good. But modern wrestling, the women are as good, if not better. They're headlining shows. You got people like Rhea Ripley who are just killing the
Yeah,
game.
and look at that picture of her evolution too. Honestly,
Yeah.
that first picture. Look
And
at her
she's
evolution.
headlining pay-per-views.
Yes, and putting on banger matches. I
Yeah.
mean, just amazing matches. Her and Charlotte. I mean, quite frankly, that year
And then you got
that
Tony
second,
Storm,
she's putting on amazing matches.
who's got some of the best character work now, right, in wrestling.
Yep, 100%. And she's not a high flyer either. She's not
Yeah,
one that goes all over the place. She's a ground and pound. She will get you down and
yeah,
wear you out. That little that pile driver she does that they call a storm effect or whatever it's called. It's nothing but a quick pile driver. That's all it is. But when she hits people with it, you thought she'd shot him. That's how you
yeah.
sell a finisher.
You got
Charlotte,
Charlotte headlining.
that was her. That was her first match right there against Bailey.
Hmm.
I'm like, go from that to what we've got now, and that's when she was NXT champ. She was her and Rhea Ripley at that particular WrestleMania. I don't care what happened in the second. Those two had the match of the entire event. Honestly,
Oh, Bigfoot Fadez is talking about Tony Storm. She looks like
yeah,
a buff Marilyn Monroe.
that's why
Yeah.
she calls herself Timeless Tony Storm.
Yeah. I like
But
Tony Storm.
Lisa Moretti was the name was is Ivory's name. That's what I was trying to remember. So Lisa Moretti. But yeah, she was Tina Ferrari in Glow though.
So yeah, that is one advantage of women's wrestling
Yeah.
or modern wrestling. is that it's not a good old boys club anymore.
Nope.
And again, I'm not like a wokey woke, but I do
No.
understand that there was a lot of like really bad behavior back then in the world of old school
And
wrestling.
you got to remember, we're talking about old school women's wrestling from that day, the Glow time or whatever. But outside of Glow, if they look at Wendy Richter and those girls of the early to mid '80s and in the '70s, they didn't do anything unless they went through the Fabulous Moolah. He was the kingpin of women's wrestling, no matter where they went, what they did. That's Wendy now, and
This is
they went
fabulous.
Fabulous Moolah. I mean, that woman, the brawl for it all, or whatever, the precursor to WrestleMania back in '84, I think it was, and she was in there as the Spider Lady or whatever it was, or maybe it was after WrestleMania. I can't remember which, because when Wendy Richter was trying to hold them up for more money, and they put her under her mask, she went in there and did a shoot on Wendy Richter to get the title back.
Mm.
I mean, but Wendy Richter, I mean, she was what they needed at the time, though. Honestly, they didn't wrestle the same back then though as the women do now. Not even close.
Yeah. Just fabulous Moolah.
Yep. She was happy with herself. I mean, they said she was really a kingpin. They didn't go do anything unless they went through her a lot of times. That was the rumor anyway. I don't care. I
She must have had some stories, man.
Oh yeah, her and Mae Young. Oh good lord, I'm scared to even think about Mae Young. You know, because that's another whole different. I didn't even get a picture of her down because you want to talk about old school. Pat Patterson used to have to ride with her and drive around with her and stuff.
Mhm.
He said she smoked cigars like they were going out of style. She was just the raunchiest, most freaking unladylike you'd ever want to be around. But anyway, sorry, that was it's one of those things. I love women's wrestling when it's actually women's wrestling. The years of the divas hurt because, quite frankly, you take Nikki and Brie Bella and shove them up somebody's ass. As far as I'm concerned, they mean nothing.
They were a transitionary time. They were like, I think the diva era was like the transition from like Stacy Keibler, that type, and Tori, what's her name? Like Tori Wilson. Were just there for eye candy.
Mm-hmm.
Tori Wilson, right? They're just there for eye candy.
Yeah.
Right. And they'll do a match and people will think it's gimmicky or sexy or whatever.
Well,
and then you have the modern women like Becky Lynch and Charlotte. But I feel like the Divas was like the transition in between.
It had to be because
from one to the other.
I mean, Candice Michelle, she was best known for a Super Bowl commercial before she came in. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. Tori Wilson was in WCW before she came over to WWE.
But she was eye candy.
She was eye candy, but she at least made an attempt to learn the craft. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of like what they're working with Maxine Dupree right now. You know what I mean? She's been eye candy for the last, 2 years?
Yeah. They were just valets, right?
Yeah. And she's actually doing a good job, but she should have been in WWE or Raw. They should have taken her down to NXT and let her train with those girls down in NXT and work with them who can make her look even better than what she does now. I love Ivy Nile to death. She's the new Natalia, Natty Neidhart, because she can make these other girls look good. Ivy Nile is going to succeed when Natty Neidhart finally goes away. So that's the best thing I can give you as far as a squash match. That's what it is. That's what they got. She's an enhancement talent. And that's what they are now.
I feel like now WWF, if they did want to go back to the whole squash match format, they have all the resources for that now especially now, because think about it, they got NXT.
Yeah.
You could just bring up NXT guys to work squash matches, and you don't even have to damage their character because you can just put them in masks. See, that's one of the things they would do if you had an up-and-comer, but you didn't want to damage their character. You just put them in a mask and have them get job out to like.
Well, you know how they're doing it now. All those security guards that you see, they're all indie wrestlers. They're all development guys. So all those security guards get out there and get taken out by whoever, but if they're not in a match, they're getting just roughed up by somebody.
They know how to bump in case shit hits the fan. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm like, okay, I can dig that. But as far as going back to a true squash, no, I don't think they ever will.
No, I don't think they ever will, but I feel like it's a shame because I feel like if they did go back to that format, I think that frees up. We don't get stuck with like the Usos facing off the New Day every week, and then they face each other at the pay-per-view, and we're supposed to act like that's some big deal.
Yeah, and quite
We
frankly,
don't have 3-hour Raws where you have 5 matches in a row end in like some kind of fuck finish, like a DQ or count out.
And I'm getting tired of finishers not meaning a fucking thing.
Not meaning a goddamn thing. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, I understand. Let's say Gunther, for example, Gunther. His finisher mainly is the sleeper. People are going to get out of the sleeper. It's been done for 50, 60 years. People get out of the sleeper. Okay. They figure out how to do it, whatever the case might be, unless he cinches it in good or blah, 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 blah. But he also does the power bomb. Okay. And he gives a vicious power bomb, especially if it's a smaller guy. So not once have I seen anybody other than Jey Uso kick out of that power bomb.
There should be a rule: you don't kick out of a finisher on TV.
Yeah,
the only time a finisher gets kicked out is in a pay-per-view, if at all.
Yeah, if at all. Honestly,
I see finishers get kicked out of on Raws, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, see, and there's certain situations where that works in the storyline. Like, look at
sometimes it works. Shawn Michaels. Sometimes people pop.
Yeah, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels kicked out of Tombstone one time, but once he got it done,
we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, but once he got hit that second time, he did a last ride, and then he did the Tombstone again, and that finished it. He didn't kick out again, and I was like, that was a good way to build to that win. But if he'd have kicked out again, I'd have just thought, okay, they're just bullshitting now. They're literally just not wanting to do whatever. Because, I don't know. I mean, I understand Super Cena kicking out of stuff, in his last match. But he did the right thing. And, I still think he probably should have passed out instead of tapped out. But I think that would have left too much of an opening, you know what I mean, for him to come back if he'd have passed out. Because they just said he never tapped. He never gave up. Yeah, but now you don't.
I would the way I would book or the way I would tell a story, or if I had to build up a wrestling character, I would have it so that Tex showed up.
Oh, now he wants to come in. He didn't want to come in earlier. I ain't gonna be on the ball pit. I ain't gonna do it.
I went to look at Christmas lights. So leave me the hell alone.
Were they purdy?
They were. There's a neighborhood down the road down here, and there's 2 neighborhoods we usually go look at.
Yeah.
And we went to the one down here north of us, and the theme seemed to be a Texas Christmas. So there are a lot of longhorns and
outstanding
Santa riding longhorns and that type of thing.
Cool.
So. And Merry Christmas, y'alls, and all that kind of
stuff. Of course. Hey, Nemo said something. Remember, this is what I was talking about when we were talking about the divas and the botches and stuff like that, and the way they package some of these girls now.
Yeah.
You can't take them seriously. You can't take them seriously because they're not taking themselves seriously. I mean, Lyra Valkyria was halfway decent in NXT. She moves up into the Raw picture and gets associated with Bayley or whoever else might have been. And she literally looks like shit every time she's in the ring. Bad moves, bad placement. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are still botch machines. But Jade Cargill is getting better. I saw that in the last few weeks when she's with her new attitude stuff. She's getting better. But she's also got now Chelsea Green making her look better too.
She is shredded.
I don't even watch wrestling anymore.
Well, see, we knew there was something we didn't like about
you. Well, you prefer the old school stuff. You don't like the modern stuff.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
So I've argued it. We've been talking about why, the advantages and disadvantages of old school wrestling versus modern wrestling. Tex, give us your thoughts. What do you think modern wrestling loses about wrestling that you used to love about old school wrestling?
It's like everything else. It's gotten too damn sensitive. You know, I get the safety measures. I get that. I really do. Because I mean, let's face it, a metal chair to the head is not a healthy thing to do.
No,
I get that.
Or to the back.
But it just used to be. Well, you know, one thing I think the loss of kayfabe is kind of what did it for me.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because there used to be that. I mean, you knew, you know, if you had half a freaking brain, you knew, but it was like they didn't shove it in your face.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That it was kayfabe. You know, and now it's just
like the wrestlers know that you know.
Yeah.
So
and they don't care anymore.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's. I think that's kind of what did it for me, and now I hated. I could not stand the whole. There was stuff about what you want to call old school that I didn't like, and I think this is when it started kind of turning the corner. I love the Attitude Era. Okay,
yeah,
loved it.
Great storytelling.
I did not like the stuff about like Rated R Superstar, that type of thing, and the whole Stephanie and Triple H shit. I did not like that at all. Okay, and when that came on, I would absolutely turn it off.
Yeah, but they don't do that now anymore.
I know.
Yeah,
but that's when it started for me. I started losing interest. You know.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So,
the
hello, Phage. How are you? Yes, I did get my beard trimmed. And hello, Mickey. So who's coming on with me tonight?
Anybody? I asked you if you wanted me to. You never answered.
Topic going to be?
It's a cryptid Christmas.
Cryptid Christmas.
Cryptid Christmas.
I can go on there and start talking smack about Dogman, huh?
You can talk about Krampus, I guess.
I've got the thumbnail is Santa, a Bigfoot Santa his sleigh being pulled by Dogman.
Nice. Thank God
I'll be over there. I'll come over there for a few. Try to anyway if I don't fall asleep in between.
I would, but you know, it's Sunday and I got to work early tomorrow. It's gonna be a Monday. It's gonna be a not a full week. I mean, we're gonna have the Christmas off, but
we might do that.
Be a wild ride on Monday at work. I'll tell you.
We might open up the lines. We'll see.
See what happens. Yeah.
Hey, Bigfoot Fadez, why don't you hop on there, girl?
Oh, she's too scared to be on there with me. I got something.
Get up on there, Mickey G.
I still owe her.
You're always good on the mic.
I tell you what, me and Phage have got some stuff in the works that y'all are going to absolutely love.
And I don't know about all that. I don't love anything. Okay.
We've been working behind. You do. You just don't want to admit it. You love me, but you'll never say it. Yeah.
Hold up. Time out. Whoa. Hey, wait a second. No. Because I'm telling you right now, I grew up on Mike Tyson's Punch Out. All right. I got something for your ass on that one.
You ever beat Mike Tyson?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you actually beat Mike Tyson?
Yes, I have beat Mike Tyson.
One of the early great accomplishments.
Not with any of the what you call it, the cheat codes or anything like that. None of that stuff. Straight out, and it took me probably about a year to finally do it. It really did, and that was playing almost religiously every day for a year.
That was the Moby Dick for a lot of kids of old school 80s.
Oh, you ain't just kidding. You know how I didn't even knock him out either, though. I beat him in a 3-round freaking decision. That's how I beat him.
Nemo over here says the problem with wrestling is that it's no longer perceived as blue collar.
Not really, yeah. And people, blue collar people can't afford to go see it.
Yeah, can't afford to go see it anymore.
Yeah, because that used to be. I mean, you could go down.
Well, like
honestly, I think that you want to know what ruined wrestling. Honest to God,
Yeah.
WWE.
A lot of people would say
the
that.
old school,
A lot of people would
stuff.
say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because you can't go down to the sportatorium in Dallas and watch freaking wrestling.
Or go to where we're at here, go to to a house
Right.
show at the Sheriff's Posse over here. You
Right.
know? I went
Right.
to 3 of them there. So I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a couple of $100 to go see a wrestling match, and that's minimum. And that's crazy.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I mean, there was nothing like the sportatorium though. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, absolutely.
I tell everybody this day, just don't. You go there, you got the best fries in the world. Just don't ask what it was cooked in. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
So I want y'all's opinion on something.
Okay.
And everybody in chat, y'all can vote on this too. So I got 2 logos here that I've been tinkering with.
No and no.
Got that
Show me
one?
the second one.
Huh?
And the second one? Go back to the first one. I don't know. I think I like the first one better.
Yeah,
I think
one's better.
that coat looks more like you look more distinguished with that coat.
You look more like you. You don't look like
more
you
like a
there.
distinguished Texan gentleman.
Yeah, definitely first one.
Yeah, I like the first one better.
Okay. See what they're saying in chat.
First
the first one. Yeah.
First one. Okay.
Although I wish,
honestly,
I wish you would have done that logo with you wearing your one of your cryptid shirts.
Yeah, instead of the blue polo looking thing.
Yeah.
Well, that can be changed.
Yeah. It's missing that. I've literally never seen you wear a coat like that before, Tex.
No, I have. Not, but I'm looking at it not like a sport coat. I'm looking at it like a actual coat. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it is. It's a duster.
Duster. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I can see that.
And I used to wear a duster, but
yeah, a lot. Of
course, you're a Texan cowboy. That's what they wear. That's like me wearing an Asian rice fielder's hat. It's part of the uniform, baby.
Yeah,
it's part of the uniform.
Oh, I'm getting that. Get ready. I'm gonna send one to you for Christmas. I want you to wear it on. I'm gonna get you a tinfoil one.
Hawaiian shirt would work.
A
Hawaiian shirt would work.
Yeah, that's true. But
hold
on. Anyway, but
the star, the Fade says I like how you put the star in the bull's head. That's I just made the bull's head a Texas flag. That's what I did. So, and Fade says Texas better at me at AI.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't even try AI. In fact, I'm still on the verge of not using AI at all, only because, like I said, the other day when I heard that the #1 country music song in the country was a complete AI fabrication, and it was #1, I was like, y'all can go fuck yourselves, okay?
No, I'm with you on
that. I'm like, the #1 song on the country music charts, I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it is a complete AI song. Nobody, nothing, completely generated in AI.
Wait, the #1 country song was done by AI?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And the one thing I'm going to go by when it comes out, Paul McCartney's doing the silent album. He's doing an album that has nothing on it in protest. And I'm going to go buy it out of spite. I will sit there and listen to what he does on that for an hour before I try to listen to something, that's AI, that is put out as a actual artist rendition of something. Okay.
Well, and I will tell you that Fade says check your inbox there, Randy. I will tell you this. I look when the AI artist stuff started coming out, and it's so good that and I said this the other day, I think it's like the whole song "Video Killed the Radio Star."
Yeah.
It's to me, it's the same principle. And I told Jason that. I said I really had to worry about legitimate artists because this is the new artist thing going, right? How well you can manipulate AI. And he made a good point. It's going to make actual art more valuable. I hope.
They could do the opposite also and make it cheaper.
I hope so. Yeah, that's all I can do is hope.
But
okay, Faith sent this. I'm going to put it up here for you.
I kind of feel using AI. I kind of feel like I'm cheating on Jason.
See, that's what she sent me. Okay. And I tell people, and we just covered this in Truth or Tinfoil earlier today because see that little star right there?
Yeah.
That right there is on a bunch of stuff that gets put off as paranormal evidence now.
Oh, does that mean AI down there?
It means AI not necessarily AI generated, but it could just mean AI enhanced as well.
Gotcha.
Actual photos and stuff, but they use the AI to actually enhance it in some way, shape, or form. But I tell people, if you look at that doesn't mean that the photo isn't real. It just means they've used AI to enhance it somehow.
Right.
And that, it could be any one of 100 things. Because I found one this week that Minnesota Iceman thing where we had the picture of the one in the ice, and they were like, oh, this came from the top of Mount St. Helens, and after it blew, and we're like, bullshit. It's the picture of the one that they did the mock-up for the documentary in Europe. Okay. Well, It's making the rounds again, and now it's got a little star on it. People saying it's all AI. And I was like, no, it's not. It's the same thing, but this is what it did. And what they did, they actually put eyeballs in the actual, what do you call it? Make it look like it had real eyes in there.
So here's tonight's show.
Oh, joy.
Real nice. I like that.
Bigfoot controlling Dogman.
Merry Christmas instead of ho, ho, ho.
Who you calling a hoe?
People from Idaho. I found a shirt that if I didn't have as much, if I could only wear this shirt, like I would only feel comfortable wearing this shirt like around y'all and stuff, not out in public, because I'm not that type. But it's got a picture of Santa Claus and it says, I did it for the hose.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Nice.
Okay. Well, as we sit there and think about this now, and we've talked about old school, old style versus new style, what's your favorite bit of it there, Donnie? What actually drives you to want to watch it more now?
I prefer elements of both. Meaning, I feel like the Attitude Era was the real transition from old school to modern wrestling.
Yeah.
Because modern wrestling was kind of starting to formulate in the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really liked AEW when it first came out because they were trying to
meld it all,
mesh it all together. But I think at the end of the day, I think I just prefer the Japanese style, New Japan. I like that style better.
Man, and Lucha Underground.
I was watching some stuff about the Japanese women's wrestler the other day.
Which one? You watched Queen of the Villains or whatever?
No, it was just some documentary. Just some not documentaries, but just some YouTube videos about their schools and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
dude, watch that damn movie. Watch that movie about Dump Matsumoto, freaking Queen of the Villains.
Queen of the Villains on Netflix. Yeah. Have you seen that show?
Watch that shit.
Yeah, that's
well. That gives you. They had some clips from it, and I'm like, my God,
the shit they went through, right? Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, they would beat them girls up.
Yeah, and they got, even if they got in, it was a source of great honor for the family if they got into the school.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Because when she transformed that other girl into, she became Bull Nakano. I was like, oh my God, yes, Bull Nakano, because she was iconic here in the States,
Yeah. And then when you see her in the show, she's like this lost little girl in the beginning until she makes her
Exactly.
transformation.
And when she transforms, you're like, oh shit, y'all just opened up a whole can of worms now. But yeah, no, Dump was that girl that played Dump was amazing in that movie though. She really was.
I also like the luchador style. I think what they do in Mexico with pro wrestling is also very interesting. The way they
Yeah.
handle it, it's like its own
Yep.
little world.
But
Its own
I
little
will say,
microcosm.
but the thing about what I don't like about
The lucha
Mexican
style, yeah.
is they rely way too much on flying around the ring.
Yeah, but that's their
They do.
style. So
I know,
do.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm like, it's just, I'm like, do something,
Yeah.
bouncing off the damn ropes and
Well,
flying across the ring. But I mean, when they land moves, it's cool.
yeah.
But
But they miss a
Yeah.
lot, as many as they land half the time.
But sometimes, like when they do pull off, like some of the moves they do pull off, you're like, holy shit!
Where did that shit come from?
Ray Phoenix. When you see some of the stuff he does, and
That tightrope walking that he does with that kick to the head, that's amazing
Yeah.
watching. I'm afraid he's going to
That's
fall every
amazing to
damn time
watch.
too.
Yeah.
Well, and back in the 80s, remember Tex, back in the 80s, every so often Mil Mascaras would come up into the territory here and wrestle a couple of matches with Fritz's bunch and stuff,
Right.
And when he would come in, it was a big deal because he was an international star,
Right.
He put on a show. He wasn't a big guy, but he was barrel chested though. He was a big boy.
Right.
And to see him fly the way he flew, I'm like, he's kind of big to be doing that, but he did it,
Well, see, and you talk about the whole Fritz bunch and everything.
Yeah.
Those kind of rivalries is what I miss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Those legendary rivalries.
Those storylines would go for years, and they were committed.
Yeah. Three birds of Von Erich. Period.
If they found out what cars the bad guys were driving, the fans tore the cars apart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They got death threats and shit. I mean, because that's how good the kayfabe was.
Yeah. Unless you run into them at the bars and stuff, because so many people ran into David Von Erich, partying with Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy. It wasn't even funny,
Right.
But they also didn't. Most of the guys didn't bug them either. Hey, Terry Gordy's no little guy. You don't want to go mess with him. Okay.
No, he was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid big.
Piper
the one that
the
one that caught me the worst off guard was seeing the one man gang when he wrestled here in our hometown. Gary Hart was still his manager at the time, and he was taking on Kerry Von Erich. Kerry Von Erich's no small guy either. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
When I say that was a mountain of a man, that was a mountain of a man.
One man gang.
Oh my God! When they said he was 450 pounds, he was probably closer to 5. I mean, at that time. And now you see him on these shoot interviews and on these wrestling conventions stuff. That's the nicest guy you'd ever want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he finished his career up by being a South Carolina prison guard.
Yeah.
God almighty. Just fun to watch though. I mean,
that's what he wound up doing? He actually became a South Carolina prison guard?
After the Hakeem, the African Dream bullshit up there, and he finally said, "Nah, I'm done." I think he did a little stint in the old Global at one point, but that was it. I think he went straight to into the.
I like that gimmick though.
Prison.
I gotta say, the one man gang. I like the idea of that.
And he
so
was
big that
and he was a beast too.
That's another thing. The gimmicks are not the same either.
Yeah, they're not.
I miss gimmicks like Maniac Mark Lewin and
oh yeah,
Kabuki and the Georgie Animal Steel and that type of thing.
It lets you suspend disbelief. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the missing link.
Georgie Animal Steel, especially, man. That guy was committed to his gimmick.
Oh yeah, and you talk about one of the nicest guys in the world. He's one of the nicest guys, or he was.
Yeah. Same thing with Missing Link. Dewey Robertson was the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days.
I remember when I got taken back to the locker room and met Iceman King Parsons and Kevin Von Erich. They wrestled each other, and they legitimately did not like each other at that point.
I believe it.
And
Believe it.
there was a lot of tension in that locker room, you know. And when the ring announcer took me back there to meet him because he wanted me to, you know, wrestle, and yeah, they were not freaking happy with each other. Of course, that whole match was a shit show because the match before it was a mixed tag team.
Yeah,
one of the ring posts broke. And
so they
actually hit one of the women in the head and busted her open. It was not part of the show.
Dang.
And so they ended up, they couldn't repair it, so they had to take the other ring post and the ropes down. They had to do their match without any ropes or post, and they were not happy about it. You know, so because I mean that takes a whole element out of their match. You know, on the fly. You know.
Man, whoever set up that ring must have gotten their ass handed to them that night.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, because they didn't play games with that stuff. You know.
No.
Anyway, I think Tex, you got a show in a few minutes, right? At 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Hearing about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I got to go to bed because I got work tomorrow. But
yeah, I do too. But I'm gonna stay up with Tex for a while. So.
Yeah, I might be in the chat.
I'm going to the ranch tomorrow. So.
Oh, nice.
I'll be doing my show live from the ranch. I'm going to need somebody to drive.
Ooh.
You trying to drop a hint?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Randy, keep those pictures up there, by the way, because I want to just store pictures so then in the future when we talk about wrestling, we just switch back and forth. So
okay. Well, yeah, they'll be in my whatever media assets thing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. So tune in. Tex is going to be hopping on Texas Front Porch. Please feel free to hop on over and go into the chat, which I'm pretty sure all you guys will.
Yep, most likely.
Tex said ranch, take a shot.
All right, guys.
And when I got to work tomorrow.
All right. So
have fun.
Have fun.
We're out. We'll see y'all. Hey, and don't forget, Friday we will do a ball pit just so I can rub the picks in everybody else's face. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Who won last week?
Last week? Are you sure you want me to show you that?
Yes.
You went 8-7. I'll tell you that right now. Hang on. I'm going to bring this up real quick. This week's picks. That's not this week's picks. I don't want this week's pick. Come on. Last week's picks. Okay. So, and I'll pull it up here. Yeah, well, I was at 10-5. Rob was at 10-5. Paul was at 9-6, and you were at 8-7. So yeah, you're bringing up the rear end. Anywho,
all right.
Let's see here. I'm going to show this picture real quick so he can see it and see where you picked at. Because, all right, there we go. You messed up on Cincinnati, Kansas City, New England, and Green Bay, the Rams, Panthers, and Dallas, which we all messed up on Dallas. But that's that.
Yeah.
I went 10-5. Rob went 10-5. You went 8-7, and these are the records from before the week prior. And
I didn't know you made a column for me. I would have put in some picks if you had made a column. I would have just picked them randomly, though.
I took it out on the next one, so it's not there on the next one.
Right.
But we'll go over this week's picks and see how the records shape out at that point. So,
yeah.
All right. See y'all in the Texas channel soon.
15 minutes.
Yep.
Peace.
See ya. Bye.
Take me out to see that game with all the balls, or to the wrestling ring best out of Three Falls. Donny and Randy talking wrestling and sports. We're talking the ball pit. It's the best, of course, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. better podcasts. They're all shit. Rob watches the Lions every Sunday night. Who even know which team Paul supposedly likes? Tex likes the Cowboys, it's his only shortfall. Jason McLean, just a fan of sports ball. Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it. Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. There's no better podcast. They're all shit. With Randy Gilbert as our YouTube sports guy. Donny Cho knows shit about sports, but he'll try. Donny only knows wrestling and MMA. Together these two for the US of A.